For the first time in more than 50 years, a House panel will hold an open congressional hearing about UFOs next Tuesday. The hearing will focus on a Pentagon program that was established last year after the U.S. intelligence community released a preliminary assessment on 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomena since 2004, and could only explain one of them.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said the hearing would give the public an opportunity to hear directly from subject matter experts and leaders in the intelligence community on one of the greatest mysteries of our time, and to break the cycle of excessive secrecy and speculation around truth and transparency.
And that's good. We don't want excessive secrecy. Truth and transparency are good. I'm glad we're having these hearings, and I'll be excited to see what we'll find out. I doubt that we'll learn anything particularly interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong.
There were activists that rallied to get hearings on important subjects like Medicare for All last year. But I'm glad we're doing this instead.
Look, Congress can do all sorts of things at one time, right? It's fine to hold hearings on multiple things.
I mean, if you think there's not going to be some big reveal about little green men, why do you think that this is coming up now?
What do you mean?
Why do this hearing now? Do you think there's some people think these kinds of hearings are like a distraction technique. They want to control a little bit of a media cycle. They want to drop something and hide it under the excitement of the Men in Black reveal.
I don't think they're trying to do any of that. I think they're just finally out of excuses to not have hearings about this stuff. Right. The revelations that enough, it's the pilot, or it's the ship. We had a guest on who explained that it's, and I can't remember, it's more often the Navy or it's the Air Force reporting things that they can't explain. It's one or the other. There are enough people in those roles who have seen things they can't explain. Now, seeing things you can't explain does not mean aliens.
So is the concern that there is, a security threat or something like that that's going on?
Could be Russian stuff, could be Chinese stuff. So, let's find out. Let's have these hearings, but...
And does this story bear any relationship to the story I read a couple of days ago about us projecting images of nude humans into
I don't know
space?
if you, the viewers, heard this headline that we were going to be sending porn into space.
All right. That feels like an overstatement of what's
and in fact
happening.
It was. I Googled, are we sending our nudes into space, which was something that could get some pretty scary results probably. The first result is from Snopes, the fact-checking website that says, no, NASA does not plan to send nude pics into space. But CNN says researchers do want to send nude illustrations of humans into space. And I think the illustrations are much, 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 much tamer than, so you're right, you pulled it up.
I pulled it up. They look, it's fine. It's like a cartoon character, which also does kind of beg the question, if they weren't nude, how are they going to dress these people for aliens in space? I can see the logic of saying, okay, I don't want to be responsible for sending, some unfashionable person in capris into space, and so let's just keep them nude.
If you dressed one in as a boy and one as a girl, were you going to risk the ire of the...
They're naked, Robbie. I don't think they're really hiding the ball there. Biological
we have
sex
not
of
sorted
these
out
figures.
all sorts of, right, there's some controversy over biological issues. I just don't want to confuse our eventual alien overlords.
Well, they made them nude for you, so there will be no confusion whatsoever.
Don't say it like that. It's just, it's a fun subject to talk about, but in reality, even if we're not, going to learn anything about aliens, which again I highly doubt, our government should not keep information from the people for no reason. If they cannot explain what a large number of unidentified flying objects are, well, they should just tell us that. It doesn't mean the explanation is a crazy explanation if there's no explanation, but they can be honest about that. So I'm always happy to have hearings on this subject or really any other subject.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, up next, Biden called out the ultra MAGA within the Republican Party, and we'll discuss that with our rising panel. Stay tuned.